I hate this thing so much. Look at this thing. Let's take it. Can you please stop? Hi guys, it's Lucy. So today we're talking about the longer books that I'm going to be reading this year. I'm going to be putting the page numbers up on the screen because I don't remember them and I don't have the physical books with me right now. But basically, my goal this year is to read 30 books total, and I've decided to kind of put in a few really long ones into it. I don't listen to audiobooks. My aunt suggested that I do that because she's like saying that some of the longer books that she's read are literally 24 hours long on audio. But I personally don't like audiobooks. Like, it's fine that if you like them, but I'm not the biggest fan of them. I'm trying to work on my reading stamina this year, so I'm trying to read as much physical books as I can. Basically, as far as I know, and you guys will know because it'll be on the screen, all of these books are like 500 plus pages. I'm not sure how many of them I'm actually going to get to because I've already kind of gone on I'm off to a slow start, especially with February at this moment. But one thing that I do think will help me reach my goal is that my sister Flora was born like 7 days ago. When people say that their baby is amazing, they are talking about her and no one else. What was gonna help is that I'm gonna be reading her a lot of shorter books like Tinkerbell and stuff, so that'll probably help a little bit with reaching my goal. And then for the most part, the books I'm reading this year are very average. It's just like a few that are like, holy crap, what am I doing? Those are the ones that we're gonna be talking about today. So the first book on this list is The Hounds of Morrigan. I don't remember who wrote it. I think this book is 600 plus, or at least very close to 600. I don't remember. Also, hi, I have a Howl's Moving Castle sweater. I feel like that needs to be talked about. I don't know why I didn't address it. Got it today. It is so cute. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So The Hounds of Morrigan, hi. I haven't seen her all day either, so we're like having a meltdown. The Hounds of Morrigan, I didn't hide your toy. What are you talking about? You see nothing. What? I didn't see anything. You're talking about this? Do you want this? It has babies. Guys, this is a chaotic video, but look. It's pregnant. Oh my gosh. You guys all need this, by the way. It's pregnant. This one looks like you. Aww. You guys, I love you. It's been a long week, guys. I'm so tired. Anyway, The Hounds of Morrigan. From what I know about it, these two kids, it's like a middle grade book, but it's like 600 pages, which is wild. But basically, these two kids end up, I think, in this like kind of fantasy fairy tale land, and they have to fight this evil queen or something, like face trials. It's very, as far as I know, it's very like Narnia-esque, and it's very like going on little quests for 600 pages. I know how it ends because somebody who hated the book and gave it 1 star on Goodreads didn't put a spoiler warning, because I think something that's important, and it kind of goes without saying, just because you hate a book doesn't mean everyone else will, so please don't ruin it for them, which is unfortunate because once again, 600 pages to go into knowing how it ends is like so messed up. But I've been wanting to read it for like 2 years or over a year now, so I'm gonna give it a try at some point. I'm not sure if it's gonna be read this year. I'm trying to figure out my reading plan, and if you guys want to see a video of me scheduling my reading, I'll do that because it needs to happen. And then the next book that is technically, this is only 420 pages. I don't know if that's considered long. My friend keeps saying it's long and I don't agree. Is Fire and Hemlock by Diana Wynne Jones. I've talked about this many times on this channel, but I'm currently reading it. I believe that even though it's 420 pages and even though it's kind of like a difficult book to read, I'll probably finish it in like 2 weeks because I love it and I've read it 3 times. If you guys don't know or haven't seen the other videos, it's basically about this young girl who crashes a funeral. She's like 12 and she breaks into the funeral that's taking place. Meets this guy there who like kind of knows she doesn't belong. They go out into the yard to just get away because they don't really like the family who's part of the funeral and like the reading of the will. And then even though she's not supposed to be there and he kind of finds that out, he starts to play pretend with her, and they create this story where they're 2 superheroes, and then they go their separate ways, but they keep in touch and like into her adulthood. While she has this really rocky relationship with her family, he's kind of this steady person in her life, and they continue to play pretend together a little bit. But everything that they make up in their story comes to life, and the fantasy elements are subtly woven in, so like it's easy to miss, and it's just a brilliant book. It's written complexly, but it's so fun to like dissect. People always say you have to read it multiple times to fully understand it, so this is my third read through of it. I'm currently reading it and I'm loving it just as much as I did the first time. I don't know what it is about the book. I really like, I don't know, I just love their dynamics so much. So it's a good time. The next book I'm going to be reading I think this is about 500 pages as far as I know, is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. Here's my thing with this book that's making me very scared to read it. I will probably be starting it in summer. I don't know if I'll be finishing it in a month or less. I think it's going to take me probably most of summer to get through, on top of reading some shorter books with Flora and stuff. I have a video planned where I'm going to be reading The Secret History in the video, and then I have another video where I'm going to be reading Ghibli books to Flora all summer. So those are going to be the two things I'll be reading over summer. I'm very excited. But I'm so scared to read The Secret History because everyone pretty much says that they've gotten to a point in that book where they just kind of hate it. And then it's like the beginning is good, the very end is good, and then there's like this portion in the middle where everybody loses their will to live, and I'm so scared to like get into it. I don't know. I'm a little afraid of the book, but it makes me kind of want to read it more, as weird as that is. So if you guys don't know, I'm sure you guys have heard of it. Basically, it's about like dark academia and like these kind of pompous students and this one guy who doesn't really belong in their inner circle, but he's there anyway. Feels like he's kind of a fraud a little bit, as far as I know. And he kind of is a fraud, but they don't know that because they're so like self-centered. The small group of friends they all take the same classes from the same teacher. They all are in the same classes together, and they will only take classes that he's teaching. And it becomes kind of cultish with them. And then at some point they murder one of the people in the group, and I don't know what happens after that. It's just chaos. I don't know. I'm very curious to read it, but I'm so afraid that I won't like it because I'm a very slow reader when I don't really love something. And if it has points in it that are just kind of lulling or just not, I don't know, because one girl said that it was like 200 pages worth that like didn't need to be in the book, and that makes me so scared. And everyone that I've talked to has either hated parts of it, given it a really low rating, didn't finish it, or were like, this book will change your life. I don't know how that happens. Like, that is so many mixed emotions in one, and I don't know how to feel, but we're gonna give it a try this summer and see, and I will vlog it. If I don't finish it, you'll know because I probably won't post it, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. Hi, so it's Lucy from the future, and I realized I forgot to mention a book that I have been wanting to read like literally for months, and it's very high on my TBR, and it's probably one of the most likely books on my list that I will be reading sometime this year, and it's just so funny to me that I just completely forgot about it. But that book is Tamlin by Pamela Dean. Essentially, it's another Tamlin retelling. It takes place at a liberal arts college, and I feel like it's very like dark academia vibes, a little bit. I don't know. It just seems really cool. I know a lot of people had mixed feelings about it. Like, they said that it was very slow, but I don't mind a book that's kind of talking about the day-to-day life of being a liberal arts student, and the fact that I'm in college right now, but am very much so not wanting to be anymore. I feel like it could be encouraging to continue with that, so I'm actually really looking forward to that read. I think it's about 500 pages. I should really stop guessing in this video though, because I'm putting it somewhere on the screen anyway. But yeah, anyway, please enjoy the rest of the video. I just really wanted to include that one because I thought it was so stupid that I forgot it, so. And then the other books, okay, so here's the thing. I have a mass market paperback of this, which means I'm not totally sure what it would normally be. It says it's about a 500 to 600 page book, but I think it would be longer because I'm reading the mass market paperback of Fire and Hemlock, and that's 200 pages versus what it would normally be, which is 400. So I can't tell how long this book is, but one book I started reading is The Dark Lord of Dirkholm by Diana Wynne Jones. It's a really funny book. It's basically where every year this fantasy realm is forced to put on this like show for people from our world. They get to be a part of like the fantasy stuff and just how all the cool things, they get to fight dragons and like kill the Dark Lord and all this stuff, but it's always at the expense of the people in fairy tale land. They're like, the wizards have to do this, and like we have to get the dragons and the griffins in here, even though they probably have nice personalities, but they have to pretend they're like they're evil, burning actual villages, and people are like starving to death because they have to do this stupid thing every year. Everyone gets paid to put on the performance, but like people die during it too. It's just like chaos. So it's about the government, and particularly the guy who's playing the Dark Lord that year, trying to put an end to it because this one dictator has all the power, and he's the one that keeps putting on the performances. It's like so wild. I started it like a couple weeks ago, and then I'm like, I don't really know that I want to read a book this long at this moment because I'm like very not prepared for that yet. I think the first one I'll probably read might be The Secret History, but I don't know. Other than Fire and Hemlock, but I started it. It was amazing and so funny, but I just feel like I'm not totally in the mood for it yet, so I temporarily DNF'd it, but I'll come back to it at some point, hopefully this year, because I'm already on page 90, which isn't bad for like a week for me. So after I get a few more shorter books under my belt for this year, then I'll go back to it, but I feel like it's too soon to spend too much time on a book. I'm trying to get them out a little faster. So, and then I think the only other book that was really long that is on my TBR for this year was the Lunar Chronicles. The first book is 400 pages. The last book is like 800. I'm not sure I'm gonna read that this year. I say I will every year, and then I get really distracted by other books. The Lunar Chronicles, if you don't know, I read the first 2 books and then half of Cress when I was younger, and then I never finished them. I feel it's so horrible that I never finished those books because they're amazing. Like, I love them so much. They're like one of the few books that in my teen years got me really hooked on reading, because I wasn't reading a lot in my teen years. But if you don't know, it's basically a bunch of like fairy tale princess retellings, only they're all sci-fi. So like Cinderella is a cyborg, and she kind of like, you know, has a leg that can be detached instead of losing a slipper. Scarlet is the Red Riding Hood, and she's just like a badass. I don't even know how to explain her story, but like the wolf is like a soldier who's like kind of genetically engineered. That book, I love those two so much. That was my favorite from what I read of the series. Cress is in a satellite in outer space instead of a tower like Rapunzel. And then I don't know a lot about Winter because I never got to that book, and I avoided a lot of spoilers as much as I could for that book. I mean, I don't know a lot about Winter, or what is his name, Jaden? I don't know a lot about those two, which is crazy to me because it's like I've known about the series for so long, I've been reading it for so long, I've had all the books since I was 15 pretty much, but I don't know a lot about the end of it, which is kind of nice. So eventually I'll read it. I think it would be a fun spring book. Let me know when you think would be the best time to read it. I feel like over summer would be good, but now that The Secret History is going to be taking up way too much of my time, I can't do that. Probably, I don't know, I'll figure it out. And then the next book that I almost forgot about is actually Fourth Wing. Now, I was not going to read this book because people kept saying it was super spicy, and I don't read spice, so I'm like, okay, well, if that's like kind of all it is, then I'm not gonna read it. But then I did my own research because I was listening to someone talk about it on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, that sounds kind of cool. So I finally did my own research on it, and I found out that like the fact that there is just 2 chapters that are spicy in, and I could be wrong, maybe I had the Google thing that I looked at was wrong, but that's not a lot. So I'm gonna read it because I'm like, you guys made this sound horrible, and it's not. That book is about 600 pages, I think, as well. Yeah, what are you doing? But like, guys, I don't consider it to be a spicy book if there's 2 scenes. That's skippable. Like, let's maybe start talking about this stuff in detail a little bit more instead of just labeling things very surface level, because I almost missed out on a book that I think I'll actually really like, even though like I don't read a lot of mainstream books, so I mean, who knows, maybe I'll hate it, but it sounds really interesting, and now that I'm kind of reading a little faster and I understand what my taste is, and I've read so much of my taste and also stuff I don't like, I think I'm more like better equipped to finish a book, even if I don't absolutely love it. And also, even if it's young adult, which I don't really read anymore, I'm like so excited to dive back into like Cruel Prince and like give ACOTAR, the first book, I know the rest of them are bad, a try, and Fourth Wing maybe, and just seeing like, hey, maybe at this point in my life I can actually enjoy, I have a dog toy, mainstream books, which I never thought I would. So I'm gonna give it a try, and I'm assuming that like it's not horrible. I may look into it a little bit more, but I'm probably gonna get it on my birthday, and I'll do a book haul on my birthday because I'm going to Barnes & Noble, and it's gonna be great. So yeah, those are like, I think the gist of the ones that I'm gonna read this year. And a few of those I'm not going, like I'll read Fourth Wing probably in spring, maybe, because I really do want to give it a chance. But yeah, those are the books that, like, in a perfect world I would be reading. Oh, also, The Golden Bow. I would like to read that book at some point. I think it's closer to 700 pages and it's like ridiculous. It's all about like weird rituals and stuff from like years ago. And it's very confusing to me. And the only reason I know about it is because it was a recommendation within Fire and Hemlock, because that book has so many recommendations. And so far, all I've read of it is talking about how when a woman would adopt an adult man, she would like push him through her robe to like simulate giving birth. That is all I know about the book. It just talks about that stuff for like 600 pages. I don't know why I want to read it, but I do. And like, I don't know what it is. It's just because it was in Fire and Hemlock, if we're being honest. That's it. That is the only reason. I just want to say that I read that book because if Polly Whitaker at age 11 could read it, then so can I. That's the only reason. But yeah, anyway, so those are the books that I'm gonna attempt to read this year. Let me know which books you guys are reading this year and what the longest one is on your TBR. And if you have any recommendations or you want recommendations, let me know. But yeah, I will see you guys next time. Bye!